The battlefield breathed before Sunrise. Not the breath of men or horses, but the breath of destiny itself, slow and vast, moving across the plains of Kurukshetra like an unseen tide. Banners hung heavy in the dark, spears rested against the soil, and thousands of warriors lay awake, staring into the same sky, yet carrying different storms within their hearts. Arjuna sat in his chariot, fingers clenched around the bow Gandiva, though he did not lift it. His eyes moved across the shadows where brothers stood ready to kill brothers, teachers to strike down students, sons to face fathers. Every face he recognized cut him deeper than any blade ever could. His breath faltered, his chest tightened, and the world he once understood cracked silently. Beside him stood Krishna. He was calm in a way that felt impossible. The reins rested loosely in his hands, and his gaze held the horizon not as something to conquer, but as something already known. The first hint of dawn touched his skin, turning him into a quiet flame amid the darkness. Arjuna finally spoke, his voice breaking the stillness. "My mind is drowning, Krishna. I know what duty says, I know what honor demands, but knowing does not save me from this fire inside. What good is knowledge if my hands tremble? What truth stands firm when the heart collapses?" Krishna turned toward him, eyes deep, endless, as if they carried centuries of unanswered questions and countless yet to come. "You speak of knowing," he said softly, "but you have tasted only its shadow." The wine stirred. Somewhere a conch sounded, distant, lonely. "There is knowledge that lives on the tongue," Krishna continued, "and there is knowledge that lives in the blood. One can be heard, the other must be lived. You have learned many things, Arjuna, yet you have not experienced the truth that frees." Arjuna looked up, desperate. "Then teach me, not as a lesson, but as a path. Tell me what remains when fear, love, and loss tear everything apart." Krishna smiled, not in amusement, but in compassion so deep it almost hurt to witness. "I will speak," he said, "and when I do, I will not give you fragments. I will give you everything, knowledge and realization together. But know this, among thousands, few truly listen, and among those who listen, fewer still understand." The sky brightened, the war waited, and a story older than time began to unfold within the heart of a single man. Krishna's voice flowed like a river, steady and unstoppable. "Look around you, Arjuna. This field, these men, your own body and mind, all belong to my visible nature. Earth beneath your feet, water in your blood, fire in your hunger, air in your breath, space in your thoughts. Mind, intellect, ego, these weave the world you touch and suffer." Arjuna listened, the words settling slowly like ash after a great fire. "But beyond this," Krishna said, his tone deepening, "is another nature. It cannot be seen, yet it sustains all you see. It is consciousness itself. It is you, stripped of name and fear. You mourn because you identify with the outer garment, forgetting the wearer." A memory stirred within Arjuna. His childhood lessons, his victories, his failures, his pride. They suddenly felt like scenes from a play he once believed was real. "If this is true," Arjuna whispered, "why does the pain feel so real? Why does loss cut so deep?" Krishna stepped down from the chariot and placed his hand on the earth. "Because experience binds stronger than words. A man may hear of fire, but only when he burns does he truly know its power. So too, Arjuna, souls wander through countless lives, collecting knowledge but rarely realization." The battlefield shifted in Arjuna's perception. The men before him were no longer just warriors. They were travelers, burdened by stories they mistook for themselves. "All beings arise from me," Krishna said, standing again, radiant in the growing light. "I am the source and the end. Yet the world does not recognize me, for desire and illusion cloud its sight." Arjuna's chest tightened. "Then why do some see, and others remain blind?" Krishna's gaze pierced him. "Because few seek me not as an idea, but as truth itself. Many chase comfort, power, or salvation. Rare is the one who seeks understanding without condition. A drumbeat echoed from the opposing camp. Time was thinning. As the army stirred, Arjuna's mind traveled inward. He saw himself as a child, gripping his first bow, heart racing with pride. He saw his first kill, the rush of victory mixed with nausea. He saw years of discipline, strategy, and applause. Knowledge everywhere, but peace nowhere. Krishna, he said, voice trembling, if realization is so rare, what hope is there for someone like me? I am bound by blood, by duty, by fear. I am not a sage in a forest. Krishna laughed softly, a sound like thunder restrained by love. Do not insult the path by imagining it lies elsewhere. The forest and the battlefield are the same when seen with clear eyes. He leaned closer. Those who truly seek me come in many forms. Some suffer until wisdom cracks them open. Some inquire relentlessly. Some act selflessly. Some surrender when nothing else remains. All paths, when walked fully, lead to me. Arjuna felt something shift. Not relief, not certainty, but a widening, as if the walls of his identity had developed unseen doors. But understand this, Krishna continued, his voice firm. Most remain trapped because they confuse information with transformation. They speak of truth, worship truth, argue over truth, yet never live it. The first rays of sunlight spilled across the field, revealing armor, faces, resolve. The illusion of permanence trembled under the light. You grieve, Krishna said, because you believe death is an end. You fear sin because you believe action defines the soul. But when knowledge ripens into experience, fear dissolves. Action becomes offering, and death becomes transition. Arjuna inhaled deeply. The air felt different, lighter. For the one who knows me in truth, Krishna whispered, there's nothing left to be known. Conches roared now, shattering the quiet. Warriors mounted chariots, commanders shouted orders, and the earth shook beneath thousands of feet. Yet within Arjuna, a strange stillness emerged. Why then, he asked, does the world resist this truth? Why does ignorance rule so easily? Krishna raised his hand, and in Arjuna's vision, the battlefield faded. He saw cities rising and falling, kings crowned and forgotten, lovers meeting and parting, births and funerals repeating endlessly. Because my power of illusion is strong, Krishna said. It binds beings through attraction and aversion. Pleasure pulls them forward, pain drives them away. Few pause long enough to ask who is being pulled. The vision shifted. Arjuna saw seekers performing rituals, scholars debating scriptures, ascetics punishing their bodies. All seek me, Krishna said, but through reflections. Rare is the one who turns directly toward the source. The battlefield returned. Those who surrender to me, Krishna continued, cross beyond illusion. Not by escape, but by understanding. Not by denial, but by clarity. Arjuna's fear returned briefly, then softened. And what of me, standing here, bow in hand? Krishna's smile was radiant. You are exactly where you need to be. A silence fell between them, heavy and sacred. The commanders raised their weapons. The signal for battle was moments away. Krishna's voice grew solemn. Understand this, Arjuna. Among countless beings, only a few strive for perfection. Among those few, only one may truly know me. Not because I am hidden, but because the world is loud. Arjuna felt the weight of those words, the loneliness of truth, the courage required to stand apart, even while standing among thousands. To know me, Krishna said, is not to escape life, but to see it as it is, to act without bondage, to love without possession, to fight, if necessary, without hatred. Arjuna closed his eyes. For the first time, he did not see enemies. He saw souls playing their roles as he played his. When this understanding becomes experience, Krishna concluded, you will not be shaken by victory or defeat. You will stand free even in the heart of chaos. The signal horn sounded. Arjuna opened his eyes. The battlefield erupted. Chariots surged forward, arrows darkened the sky, and the roar of war swallowed the morning. Yet Arjuna stood transformed. His heart still beat fast, his hands still moved with precision, but something fundamental had shifted. He lifted Gandiva. Not in anger, not in fear, but in clarity. Each arrow released felt like an offering, not a crime. Each fallen warrior was not an enemy destroyed, but a soul released from its current chapter. Through dust and blood, Arjuna felt Krishna's presence, not beside him, but within him. Knowledge was no longer a concept. It was a lived reality, steady amid destruction. He fought, not as a man desperate to prove himself, but as a witness fulfilling his role in a vast design. And in the heart of war, Arjuna tasted something rare: freedom. The sun climbed higher, the story continued, and the truth Krishna spoke lived on, not in words, but in experience. If you like our work, then do like, subscribe, and share the channel.